made a suggestion on the training piece to remove the nurses, in which I've done that to coincide with that. And so that has establishes training for professions that come in contact with victims of trafficking. Also has in there a restitution piece that is similar to the language of 615, that is the language from 615 that passed out of the House and is over here in the Senate. And then the other change in there is it makes the offense of patronizing prostitution a Class C felony instead of a Class B misdemeanor.
Any questions on that before you?
Yeah, I think that's going to have to come out. It's not had a hearing in the Senate at all, and I don't think we should be going backwards with training as it relates to issues dealing with racial profiling. I think it's a step backwards.
Have any comments?
May I explain the
Yeah.
training part of it? So what the training does, Senator, is set up by a committee that is from stakeholders that are in that field, right? So I have somebody from a CAC, I have somebody from a child trauma center, I have somebody that does investigations in trafficking, specifically on identifying and the awareness and the skills-based part of trafficking. It's got
I understand the trafficking part, but if you look at page 9 of your amendment, line 8 through 12, it reduces training for peace officers from 3 hours of training on racial profiling down to 1 hour of training, and I think that's a step backwards.
I can appreciate that. As far as those classes go, I will, as somebody who participated in quite a few of those over the years, a lot of those are things that get rehashed. It's all canned training over and over again.
I don't care. The report that we see every year shows that racial profiling in traffic stops continues to be a problem and continues to increase. And so until we can figure out a way not to make it a crime for driving while a person of color, I don't think we should be reducing training.
Okay, so would you be amenable then to just the training portion coming out, but the rest of that amendment staying?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Any other questions? All right.
The other part that came in the HDS is the language of 1464, which is Representative Lewis's bill. It's been through the House. It's over here in the Senate, handled by the senator from Newton. And that is, so a lot of the changes that are in there deal with changing the wording from child pornography to child sexual abuse material, and all those definitions in their cross references. So then the next one, House Amendment on my list. Try to make sure I marry up my paperwork with your all's. The Champion for Children tax credit, which was House Amendment 21, was obviously filed by Senator Berger and Representative Shields. It's got listed on there where it's been through the Senate side, also on the House side, passed out of the House 102 to 45. And Senate Economic Workforce Development 6-0. Any objections to that?
Continue.
All right. Then the next one would be House Amendment 10. On House Amendment 10, it's a qualified taxpayer or tax credit from raising it from 70% to 100% for pregnancy option centers. Filed by nobody on the Senate. It was House Bill 1176, Representative Warwick. It's been through the Special Committee on Tax Reform where it passed out of there 6-2. It's sitting in rules currently.
So the Pregnancy Resource Center tax credit, first of all, that's not actually a tax credit at 100%, but that's another discussion. So we were in negotiations yesterday and I think we need to remove the Pregnancy Resource Center 100%. And then on the maternity home tax credit, if we could get that language to match what we agreed to yesterday on House Bill 121, then we'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Just make a note. Keep going.
All right, and then, so we have House Amendment number 9, sponsored by Senator Lewis and Representative Lobinger. The underlings went through economic workforce over here in the Senate, 6-1. The House version has not had a vote yet. And what it does is it expands the definition of diaper bank for the diaper bank tax credit purposes.
So yesterday also, when we just want to make sure the definition of diaper bank includes the diaper bank in St. Charles, because they're not part of a national diaper bank, and we worked on negotiated language yesterday on House Bill 121. So we just want to make sure we're not boxing out the diaper bank.
So who is it that you would have us talk to?
I think it is,
We were talking about negotiations.
We're just with Mary Elizabeth,
yeah,
and it was Mary.
I think it is, it says or diapers. I just want it to be the language that's moving, there's been 1,000 different ones, and I think it's fine.
It's
We're good.
correct. False one.
All right. House Amendment 1 to House Amendment 22 was by Representative Wilson. It's also been sponsored by, or it was a House bill by Representative Engel and sponsored by a Senate bill by Senator Fitzwater. Has not had a hearing on the Senate side, has had hearing over in health and mental health, and went out 14-0.
Is this
This establishes the Department of Health and Senior Services Division a full-time position of Dementia Services Coordinator, and specifies his or her duties relating to those tasks.
We are gonna change that language to subject to appropriations, just for the benefit of the committee.
Okay? The next one after that is House Amendment 2 to House Amendment 22. With the mandated reporting of animal abuse, sponsored by Senator McCreary over here, Senator Berger, and Representative Jones. I'm not sure which one.
Holly.
All right, and it's had no hearing in the Senate side. Special Committee on Urban Issues went out 6-0. Third read 143-4 in the House. And Senate Agriculture and Food Production, Outdoor Resources has not been heard, but
No,
been
it was
referred.
for last week.
Any conversation on that?
I'm not comfortable with that piece. We did hear it in ag last week, and I have some concerns with the training time for one thing, and I'm just opposed to it completely at this point in time.
Okay, thank you, Senator. All right, that'll come out.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I presented this bill in committee before Holly Jones, because she didn't make it because of flat time. Jackson County prosecutors were here to testify in favor of that bill, because so many instances where you have animal abuse, there's often child abuse as well. Now, the training hours could be increased, looking, that's easy to fix next session. I think we have a chance now to go ahead and keep this in the bill. We can have a chance to really increase our public safety, especially for young folks in vulnerable environments. So I would ask that we consider that.
I'm adamantly opposed. The other piece that I have a problem with is the definition of pet, because it brings in all animals, and that's a real problem for agriculture.
We don't want cows being.
That the definition includes everything.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? Thank you. Okay.
All right, next is House Amendment 20, sponsored by run by Representative Schulte, sponsored by Senator Gregory, 15, in the Senate. Also, again, Schulte in the House. It's passed through Families, Seniors, and Health, 6-0 in the Senate. Legislative review, 8-0, and basically deals with you can petition the Department of Health and Human Services for a single date and get all that information. It opens up for identity theft, fraud, things of that nature.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay.
House Amendment 6, child care facilities. adds those to the list of authorized entities which a physician may prescribe epinephrine delivery device. It's Elijah's Law. That is sponsored by House Senate Bill 783, Senator Lewis. House Bills 22 and 580 by Schulte and Weber. Has not had a hearing over on the Senate side, but in health and mental health, it passed out 17-0 in the House.
Any discussion? Okay.
House Amendment 7 specifies that no rule, obligation, or regulation to require prospective employees be assessed by a physician in order to be employed by an assisted living facility or residential care facility. That was House Bill 815 by Representative Van Schoik, came out of Intergovernmental Affairs, 9-4, with one present, and does not have a Senate companion.
Is this something the Department of Health is wanting? Is this something you're wanting? Okay, thank you.
Out.
Any discussion on that?
I just want to talk this through a little bit. It seems like, and I don't have a position on it, but it seems like we're trying to tell a place of business how they can or can't evaluate prospective employees. So I'm just trying to understand the reasoning behind this. Like, it seems like we normally stay out of micromanaging how a business hires people or fires people. So I'm just open to, if anybody has heard this bill or had a discussion on it.
I've not. What it was explained yesterday on the floor was basically, it's in regards to being able to move folks requiring a physical. So therefore, if the person knows what the job they're being hired for, if they can perform that or not, instead of having to have a physical or physician sign off on it.
And I don't think, personally, it hasn't made, it came out of committee with a party line, partisan vote, and it hasn't made it to the floor on either side. I don't think that, as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't been well vetted, and I think that's true with amendments and when we get those type of amendments, it should be no instead of yes, as a starting position. So I'm a no.
So we're okay with?
No.
Oh, yep. Senator?
I see on here, and I don't know if this is a good thing to go by or not, a lot of Senate none are on here, just kind of,
Yeah.
we haven't even looked at some of this stuff. We need to get my stamp of approval on something like that.
We'll strip that out.
Fair enough. All right, so we have House Amendment 22, sponsored by Representative Amato. This is basically the place for mom requirements. There is no Senate companion to this. Stand by.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
Third time, you say 22, and I had 21 on my sheet. Is it?
I do have 21.
I am on the wrong spot here. That's
It
my
says
fault.
21.
My paperwork seems to be a little bit. So what the gist of this bill is on 21.
Amendment 21?
Are you,
So looking at the spreadsheet that I think we all have,
House Amendment 21?
House Amendment 21, which was House Bill 390 and House Bill 943, parts of. So what this one does is it requires referral agencies to give prospective residents documentation of the existence of any relationship between the agency and an independent living or long-term care facility.
I have Amendment 21 as being a CASA amendment.
Yeah, it's not,
It's Amendment 22, thank you.
Okay, so there must be a typo or something
There
in there.
is, there's a typo on that part.
So let's just,
it's the very last page in the packet of amendments, if that helps. It's the original Amendment 22, not Amendment to
Yes.
Amendment.
very good.
Very last page.
So we're on the last page in the amendments, stack of amendments.
But anyhow, basically what it does is deals with referral agencies. It's been called the Place for Mom fix, that some of that information has, or when folks go on the website, if they're clicking on stuff, it locks them
The
in
last one is
contractually. I do know there's some opposition to this.
Yeah, if there's opposition to it, I think it just needs to come out, because I
Yep.
don't even know,
Yeah.
I can't even tell what it's doing.
There we go. All right, so now House
No
Amendment number
Senate
4.
referral.
This allows Department of Elementary and Secondary Education to grant a temporary child care license to a child care provider upon submission of a complete license application and expand the existing site. This was House Committee Substitute House Bills 850, 53, and 482, which passed out of the House 155 to 0, sponsored by Representative Schmidt. It looks like there's a Senate companion for both of those that have not had hearings yet.
Any discussion on that?
We've got to do something to make sure that we have as many childcare slots as possible. I think it's a good compromise.
Outstanding. House Amendment number 14. All right, stand by. Let me find 4 here in my stack of stuff.
I think we're on 6 because we just did House Amendment 4.
Yeah, all right. All right, so House Amendment number 6, Senate Bill 783, House Bills 22 and 580, which is Schulte and Weber. Has not had a hearing over here, went through Health and Mental Health at 17-0, that was the Elijah's Law. And requires the Department of Education and Secondary Education to develop a model policy on foodborne allergies.
Any discussion on this? I think we did this in Family Seniors and Health.
We've only had one hearing on the Senate side.
Yeah.
To me, that's the start of the position, no. That's my personal feeling.
Okay?
This was the,
It went with, yeah, you already had that discussion.
we,
It's just, the way the spreadsheet is separated is by the section numbers.
Okay.
And by, so
Yeah.
that's the way the spreadsheet, like, so that
Okay.
when it gets put together in the big CCS, it will be all in order.
Yeah, I'm okay with leaving that one in.
I want to strike the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education portion of
The
it.
question is, they have the ability to have epinephrine, but just the promulgation rules and that is something that maybe should be looked at.
I don't want them promulgating, we want to look at the rules and make sure that they're being vetted, but I'm okay with the underlying provision that they have to have it. So there'll be amendments to that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay?
So you just did part of 6.
Yes.
All right, then the next part of your spreadsheet was the HCS, Senate Bill 143 and 219, sponsored by Representative Lewis, if you want to explain that one.
Yeah, I want to say that, it does, House Bill 219 is also House Bill 1464. And so 1464 has made it all the way through the House, 150 to 3. And over on the Senate, it's made it through committee and rules and is on your calendar. So, and it's actually the second time it's made it to the Senate calendar as well. This is the statewide council against minor sex trafficking. That would be the attorney general would be the coordinator of. These are in the sections, and it also creates the fund. The fund has already been populated. The fund already has funds earmarked for it in the budget to help him coordinate between DSS and the others. So juvenile. This has been well vetted, came out of the statewide council for anti-trafficking, and it's super important to me.
Any discussion on this? Yeah, this stays in.
All right, so next up is House Amendment 14, which Representative Mathisen has asked me to pull, so we'll scratch that one. It is on a standalone over here. The governor's office had contacted him, said they wanted to fix some language, and Senator Schroer's taking care of that on Senate Bill 60.
So we're striking that out.
Then we have House Amendment 12, which deals with chikungunya virus applications from a pharmacy. Senator Black, Senate Bill 548, Representative Peterson 943, has not had a hearing on the Senate side, passed the House 125 to 30. And, correction, Senate Families and Seniors has heard it passed 4-1.
Does this really fit with the bill? I mean, that's my question.
The only other concern that we've had from other senators, just because we're short of time, is the dissolution of marriage.
Yes, which is House Amendment 18.
So I don't think we addressed the representatives. I think the title is vulnerable person, so.
I struggle with how that fits underneath the title and could jeopardize.
Yep.
Strike it out.
House Amendment 17, mental health courts. Senator Black, correction. Senator Black, Senate Bill 2018, it looks like it has been through quite a bit of voting on both sides. So it has been through, it's 4780001. Establishes a mental health treatment court to provide alternative for disposal of cases that stem from mental health, co-occurring disorders, and criminal defendant.
It was truly great too yesterday.
Yeah,
Then we don't have to worry about 17.
Should we just take it off then,
no, I think we should leave it on and give it another year.
if it's been TAFP'd?
All right.
Okay.
So we have House Amendment 5, deals with NDAs and not being used in childhood sexual abuse.
Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm down to,
Are you looking-
oh yeah, we gotta go through all those. All right. I'll jump into real quick on some of this HCS stuff. So the admissibility of evidence in minor and criminal cases, that's in quite a few different bills, passed quite a few different places. Would really like to get that done, raises the age of a statement made by a child from 14 to 18 years old. Pretrial witness protections is in 1464 over here. Also was in 2020 or 224, passed through on both sides, or passed through on the House on 1464. Childhood sexual abuse
I
actions.
hate to interrupt you, but
Yes,
can
ma'am.
you say what amendment you're on?
I'm on the, so if you go back to where HCS 17 was. Yeah, 491,075, and then 491,641, over in the right-hand column on the statute, or left-hand column, excuse me.
478.001. 478.001.
Okay, we're gonna have to hustle. We're being told to hurry, so we'll move this forward. The only other ones that I've had a discussion or pushback on was the dissolution of marriage, which we have been told and had confidence given to us that we would have that as a separate bill. That one's important to me. It's also important to a lot of other people. So we're gonna, but
376, 303 was out that day, but it sounds to me, I was thinking about I'm sure it's a dandy thing, I just know we have to do it.
which section,
Which
sorry,
statute
Senator?
would that be?
The top one, just above what you're talking about, above the dissolution of marriage, the 376.1593.
That 1593.
Conservative, it says Senate none, and I just don't know if you even look at this. And the summary sounds fine, but I just don't know.
Okay.
I've got a couple other things I want out of the bill too, so are we just gonna have a private conversation?
So just keep your sheets, and then we'll talk about reconvening before the bill moves forward and try to get through the rest of these, okay?
All right.
All right, so let's,
Recess.
okay, yep. No, we'll just try to get, I will come by everybody's office and make sure that we're on the same page before it moves forward. So we'll reset, or not recess, but adjourn, and we'll have these discussions in private, all right?